step in, so you step in, so right, Shalom. Shalom. Right, we the Hebrew Israelites, we come week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America, right? Babylon the Great according to the Bible. Right, first and foremost, we give all infinite honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Kakadash. Right, double honor to the elders and the apostles of great millstone who rule well. Right, shalom to the host of the men that scattered abroad, pushing the truth with all sincerity. Right, and shalom to those few sisters, that's getting the orders on these last days. Right, we coming out here to wake up our people, you know, the elect. Right, the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Right, we out here to warn them, hey, it's high time to wake out of sleep. Right, the Lord has blessed us, woken us up to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to discern the times. Right, and go preach to the rest of the nation about these bad times, man. You know. So with that being said, you start off. We gonna get right into it, right? Pretty much about repenting, man. You know. Yeah.
Romans chapter 13, verse 11. It says, "In that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep."
It's like, matter of fact, can you go to Ephesians 6 right quick? Ephesians 5, my bad. Right, but like he said though, you know, and that knowing the time it is high time to wake out of sleep, you know, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? Right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, we have been spiritually rocked to sleep, right? You know, we have been spiritually put to sleep, you know, but the Lord has, like I said earlier, the Lord has woken us up, right, to come out here and preach to the rest of the nation, right? Try to bid as many back to the marriage, right? Mainly the elect. Mainly the elect, you know.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14.
Right.
It says, "Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead."
Right, because hey, we the one that's spiritually asleep right now. They said, hey, wherefore he says, awake that thou sleepest. You know, and when the time of all hell, you know, finna break loose. Right, what we was talking about earlier, you know, the article we was talking about, you know, you got food famines coming. You know, we having uproars of the people, uproars when it comes to rumors of wars, right? It's high time to wake out of sleep. Wherefore he said, but wait that thou sleepest, right? Hey, come into Yahweh by Yahweh Shah. Got it.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. It says, "Therefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light."
Right? Hamashiach gonna give you the light, right? And I'm gonna grab the precept, you know, in the book of Romans 9. I mean, it's like Psalms 119. You read that back one more time?
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. It says, "Therefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead."
Right? Because we're the one that been spiritually asleep, right? We've been told that we were so-called African Americans, right? We were so-called Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, right? The whole nine. Right? Telling that the Lord loves everybody, right? But when we dive inside that Bible, it tells you different. Right? It tells you that we're the 12 tribes of Israel. It tells you that the Lord, hey, we're a peculiar people to the Lord. Right? It tells you a whole lot. Like, hey, the other nation that we have served, right, will have to serve us. Right? We have a dietary law. You know, we have a lot of things that the Lord has required for us to walk by. You know, also, hey, discernment as well, man. You know, you can read it back one more time. Matter of fact, you can keep going.
"And Christ shall give thee the light."
Right? Hamashiach, right? He's going to give you the light of what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? But it first starts off with returning back to Yahweh by Yahweh Shah. Right? An Israelite, right? When you return, that, hey, because the thing about it was we was once already walking with Yahweh by Yahweh Shah, keeping the law, statutes, commandments. But, hey, we fell off. Right? So when we return it, hey, we just, you know, coming back to it and start following it again, man. It's high time to wake out of sleep. Right? This Psalms 119, verse 105. Let me see what it is first. It says, thy words, they lamp unto my feet. It says, and a light unto my path, right? But the word, but the wisdom, not the understanding, right? Once you have by Shah, see that you sincere, right? And he'll bless you, right? Well, like he talks about in the book of, is it Ezekiel 37? Right? Talks about the dry bones and how he put the sinews back upon the flesh, right? You got it, keep that reading. Yeah, I remember. This Psalms 119, verse 105, it says, thy words, they lamp unto my feet, and they light unto my path, right? So, hey, we been spiritually rocked to sleep in a world of darkness, right? Hey, returning back to Yahweh Shah, right? Hey, we'll have that lamp, how to maneuver, right? How to discern the time that we in, knowing how close the kingdom is, right? We will have access to all those things, right? Just off returning back to Yahweh Shah. 5:14. Nah, Ephesians. You already got it.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. It says, therefore he shall awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light.
Right, Hamashiach can give you that light that you need to survive inside these end times. Go ahead.
Verse 15. It says, see then that ye walk prospectively, not as fools, but as wise.
Right? He said, hey, to walk circumspectly, right? We understanding at the time that we in, right? You got famine.
I mean, carefully.
Right? Yeah, calm, right? When you walk in circumspect, right? When you break the word down, circumspectly, right? Circle was like a full circle. Expect you to be, vigilant, man. On point. Right? So we always constantly watching about what's going on. Right? But only reason we got that because we came into Yahweh Shah. Right? We took it sincerely, right? And he blessed us to be able to, walk circumspectly. That's what we are here to teach to our people, right? Understand what's going on, coming to our the true power, right? Yahweh. That's the Heavenly Father name in the Hebrew tongue. Yahweh Shah is who the world incorrectly called Jesus Christ today. Right? You got it up.
Verse 16. It says, redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Right? The days are evil that we're approaching in, man. We seen the love of many waxing cold. We seen the FDA has approved for the MOTV that's spoken about in Revelation 13, right? We seen all these things coming, right? So we got to redeem the time, man. Right? Hey, we looking up inside the, I want to say the NLT version, We got to make the best out of every opportunity. Why? Because we're coming to a time period where the internet will not be, you won't have access to the internet. It'll be a family of the word, right? And that's also redeeming the time, man. Right? Because the days are evil, right? You got Esau Edom coming down with great wrath, and you don't have nobody to give you no comfort, right? Hold it right quick. Go to what's the other one that you had? Oh, the Romans. I grab it. I get it. Just the point said redeeming the time because the days are evil, right? Make the best out of every opportunity, right? Get the wisdom knowledge while you can. Not a fact. Right? Let's hold it. 13 and 11. This Isaiah 55 verse 6. It says, seek ye the Lord, right? Yahweh. Right? It says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, right? Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shah, right? Because Yahweh Shah in the Hebrew meaning he exists. Shalaki. Yahweh means he exists, he is to be, right? Yahweh Shah is the Redeemer, right? He saves, he delivers, right? It says Isaiah 55 verse 6, right? When we speak, we speak to the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, the man to make enemies, right? Of course, in the Bible, we the Lord chose us people. We the one that's at the bottom right now. But he talks about, hey, who's first shall be last and last shall be first, right? Starting off with the elect. It says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Hey, and he says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, right? And the Lord always speaks to his servant, the prophet, right? And it's like, hey, every captivity, right? He sent forth the prophets, man. sent forth the prophets, and they give forth the warning, right? Warning goes before destruction. That's like you got a child, wash the dishes. All right, you don't wash this, I'm gonna cut your ass, right? It's just simple instruction, you know? So it's like seeking the Lord, right? Hey, get up on the wisdom and knowledge. Get up on the wisdom and knowledge as much as possible, right? So in the time of adversity, you'll be all right. It's like I had a brain fart like hell, right? But it says, let me read it back. Isaiah 55 verse 6, it says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near, right? We're in a time of mercy, right? The grace period, right? The time of actually getting in order, man, right? Showing that you want the Lord to actually have favor upon you, right? That hedge upon you in a time of adversity, man. Verse 7, it says, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Right? You got to be trying to turn over that new leaf, according to Yahweh Shema Shah. That shows the true faith, right? That shows that you're actually trying to stick with it. You actually want to be delivered, Lord willing. It says, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah. And like I said earlier, you know, we was once walking, you know, in concordance with the Lord, right? But we departed, right? So hey, we got to come back to him 10 times more. We got to seek him 10 times harder, like the scripture says, right? So it said, let him return, you know, cast off those wicked thoughts, those wicked actions, you know, return back to the Lord, right? We was like I said, we was once walking with him, you know. So that's what the word return means, right? To actually be pretty much, that's like you continuing something, you know, you discontinue, then you continued again, right? You're returning back to what you started already, you know, right? And the dog saying, "Con, man." No. It says, "Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon me, upon him." So like, and that's what we begging for, mercy, man. Right? We all been going off, you know. We in a time period of we want mercy inside the time of all hell breaking loose, right? In a collapsed society. It says, and he will have mercy upon him and to our power, but he will abundantly pardon, right? The Lord's gonna actually, you know, like a whiteout. It's gonna be like whiteout, man. You know, you was out here going off, right? But you turn to the Lord sincerely, you know, and trembling, right? The Lord will block those sins out, man. Right? And this high time to be trying to do that right now. Practice as much as possible, man. Right? You got it all the time.
Romans chapter 13, verse 11. It says, in that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. Right. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Right, man. It's only if we knew how close we is, man. We so close. And we like
Mark chapter 13, verse 37.
We real close to like a lot of things going on right now. Right? We like pretty much we're a crisis away from all hell breaking loose. Right? We're a crisis away from the MOTB being the MOTB, right, being made mandatory, man. Right, the FDA has already approved it. You know, was it the WEF? They talking about how the CBDC has to be implanted under your skin. You know, so we're close to the time of Jacob's trouble, and that's gonna be also the time of the closing of the grace period to close, man. What you say you trying to grab?
Mark chapter 13, verse 37.
It shows it in there, but I ain't trying to grab them right now. All right. Yeah, but I'm saying I ain't trying to grab them. I ain't trying to grab those right now. all the way down to 14.
Romans chapter 13, verse 12. It says, the night is far spent, the day is at hand.
Right, the day of all hell breaking loose. Right, the day is at hand. Right, and the Lord, like I said, the Lord has given us the spirit of discernment. So we see the times are getting bad. We see, right, the food going up to a point. It's gonna get to where, it's gonna be a purge out here. Right, all hell breaking loose. Right, the love of many gonna wax cold. You know, cannibalism. Right, a lot of y'all be getting y'all kids, right, because of the fact there's no food out here. You have India pushing back. You have Ukraine pushing back with imports. You have Russia pushing back with imports, right? That would cause a lot of chaos, man. And especially in America, a lot of folks don't know how to fast, right? So therefore, you have a lot of folks, tripping out, right? Come on, you got it.
Romans chapter 13, verse 12. It says, the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
Right? Not following the ways of Yahweh Shemiyah. That's the works of darkness. Right? If you're not doing anything you're not doing the things of the works of Yahweh Shemiyah is considered darkness. You got it out.
And let us put on the armor of light.
Woo! Cause Isaiah 33:6, we quote this in almost every video, man. Right? The wisdom and knowledge be the stability of thy time, right? The strength of thy salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. If we paraphrase it. Read that one more time.
Romans chapter 13, verse 12. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.
Right, because, damn. I was gonna say something else off the top of my head. But it says, the day is far spent, the day is at hand. We close to really, man, shit's finna pop off, man. Right here in front of our faces, right? That's why I'm telling you, it's high time to wake out of sleep. Right? We so close to it, you'll be a fool of yourself, right, to not hear the prophets and disregard what they're saying and walk into Jacob's trouble blind. Right? You won't have no type of hedge of protection upon you at all. You got it all.
Romans chapter 13, verse 13. It says, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in running and drunkenness, right, not in chambering and wanderness, not in strife and eating.
Got it.
Evian. Shalaki.
You read it again? Okay.
Shalaki. Romans chapter 13, verse 13. It says, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in, what it is,
right?
Rioting, Shalaki, and drunkenness.
Right? The ways of this world, man. Right? Because the times of the come, you'll be a fool, Shalaki. You'll be a fool to still walking in the ways of America, right? The ways of the world, I'm gonna say that. Right? Knowing that it's nothing but chaos that's going on, man. Right? It takes a fool to sit there and still do that, man. Walk in the ways of Yahweh Shemiyah, but it starts off with repentance. Understanding your faults, right, and trying to correct them to the best of your ability. We know we're not perfect, right? Read it one more time.
Romans chapter 13, verse 13. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wandering, not in strife and envying.
Like pretty much like envying going into like envying like going into like wanting somebody else's stuff, like stuff like that. Envy, like you envy the next person. You pretty much want their life or some shit. Like people they like type shit. Yeah, people, you got people that want to be rappers because they got all the money. But whole time these men are getting popped by other men. You selling your soul, right? You pretty much you looking good on the outside, so called, but on the inside you dying because the Lord finna destroy the hell out of you. Oh, you go to 14. Yeah.
Romans chapter 13, verse 14. It says, but put ye on the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yahweh.
Yeah, I should say Yahweh. Select. I'll read it back. Romans chapter 13, verse 14. But put ye on the Lord Yahweh and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
Right. Read that back one more time. Gotta bring that back.
Romans chapter 13, verse 14. It says, put ye on the Lord Yahushua and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
Right, because you know the time that we in, hey man, we need to have on the whole armor. Can you hold Ezekiel 33 for me? We gotta have on the whole armor of Yahweh Shah, right? That's who's gonna deliver us. Ezekiel 33. Right? So it says, hey, now I read that one more time. This is the book of Romans 13, verse 14. It said, but put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof, right? Because that can cost you your life, right? In the book of Romans 8 and 13, those that live after the flesh, shall die. Matter of fact, I'll grab that right quick. I ain't too far from it. Yep. Romans 8, I'll start at 5. It said, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. That's where you want to be at, right? In the ways of Yahweh Shah, because he already told you, right? He's not of the world, man. Right? If you live in of the world, the Lord will destroy your ass, man. Simple as that. Right? Verse 6, it said, for to be carnally minded is death. Right? Carnally minded. Right? Worldly things. Right? Right? Hey, all day you have Jake worrying about, the things of this world, man. They don't even see their salvation as nearer than what they shall believe, man. They rather think that, hey, the stuff that's prophesied not gonna happen, this time. It gonna be in the next lifetime or stuff like that, That's the thing that they say. Right, and that's what pursues them to go after the ways of the world, man. Chasing after 401k and pension and all of that. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's also a balance to it, man. Right? When it's time for all hell to be breaking loose, you're not still stuck on the things of this world, man. Right? So I finished that off right quick. Romans 8 verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And I want to jump down to verse 13. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. Right? For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye live through the spirit, do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. Right? Because we know ultimately, hey, the things of this world is going to pass away. Right? So it will only make sense for you to actually, keep trying to strive after Yahweh Shah. Right? Hey, the book of Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, man. Right? You should be trying to strive after the thing that's hoped for, man, instead of the thing that you can already see, right? Because in a minute, it states how World War III is going to demolish, right, America and all the works thereof, right? This right in the book of back in Romans 13 verse 14.
I still got Ezekiel chapter 33 now.
It says, but put ye on the Lord HaMashiach Yahweh Shah and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof, right? And this back in the book of Ephesians 6 verse 10. It says, finally, my brethren, right? And that's the Israelites, so-called Negroes, and Latinos, and Native American Indians. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord Yahweh Shah, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Right? Hey, you got to be able to, put on the whole armor, right? Which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because you're going to need it, right? When the great hour of temptation comes, right? Which is known as the MOTB, right? The mark of the beast, Revelation 13, verse 16, right? You got to have armor on to jump inside something like that, man. And that starts off by repenting, coming back to Yahweh Shah, right? Like I say, putting off that old leaf and walking after that new man. Fine, that's that on that. You can, you can go to that.
Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 1. It says, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people.
Which is the Israelites. When you go back to the book of Ezekiel, what, 3 and 7, you know, somewhere in there, you know, we'll watchman, right? Ezekiel was a watchman. We come inside the same spirit as Ezekiel in this time, man. You got it up.
Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 1, it says, again, the word of the, Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 1, it says, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, or set him for their watchman.
Right.
Verse 3, it says, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people.
And I'm gonna hold off right there and go to 37. That's what I'm gonna go to. Yeah, that's what I get. My bad. But hey, that's still edifying as well. You know, cause that's what we do. We warning the people about the destruction, the downfall of America. You know, it's coming to pass, right? Hey, World War III, right? Hey, cannibalism. Right, and like I say, the love of many waxing cold. You know, we warning the people about those times. We also warning, we warning you to with the simple instructions of repentance, right? If you're Israelite, a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native, right? You got it up.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1.
Right, and this right going to the valley of the dry bones. The dry bones is the Israelites, right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Natives, right?
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1.
Right.
It says, the hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
Right, he talking about people. Those bones was people, man. They was dry. Right? Like he wanted to say something, but he didn't know what to say. It's like he about to say some scoffing shit. But it says, hey, the valley was full of dry bones, man. It was no type of wisdom, not to understanding inside that valley, man. You got it up.
Verse 2, it says, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry.
Dumb as hell, man. Right? They was dumb as hell. They ain't trying, you know, wisdom, not to understand it, man. Right here you have it. We blowing the horn, blowing the shofar. Going out here, coming out here week in and week out, you know, we having sit down lessons, you know, street teachings, you know, all of that, man, right? You know, so the truth is out here, but our people refuse, you know, to incline their ear to it. You got it up.
Verse 3, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?
That's a simple question, man. Right? We come to a time where you don't have the hedge of Yahweh Shem Shah, you won't make it, man. So he said, hey, can these bones live without no wisdom, not to understand it? The answer to that is hell no. You got it up.
And I answered, O Lord, Yahweh Shah, right. Thou knowest. Verse 4, again he said unto me, right, prosperity upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Verse 5.
And that's what we're doing right now. We telling you the same things, right? Hear the words of the Lord, man. You know, to the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, the Latinos, and the Natives, man. Hear the words of the Lord, right? Repent, and Lord, when you get salvation, man. Because hey, the Lord is the King of Kings, right, and the King of Terror, man. Right? You know, to the word Allah Shaya, man. You know, Allah power, Shaya, you know, demon like. It's like, right? And in the script, the Bible tells you, hey, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord. Right? So we out here telling you, hey, the Lord can get real creative. Right? He already talked about how you're gonna have aberrations, right? We come to a time of heavy aberrations. Right? Whatever your biggest fear is, you can start seeing shit like that. You know, just to fuck with you, because hey, you were one of the main ones, didn't want to repent, knowing that the Lord was speaking to you through his servants, the prophets, you know. That'll be your punishment. You're gonna die by torture of an aborigine, then you're gonna die by the damn famine, you know, or somebody eating off your ass. Oh, you got it.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 4. Again, he said unto me, prosperity upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, right. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
Right, and that's that wisdom not to understand it, man. Matter of fact, let me grab Isaiah 33:6. It says that breath shall enter into you. Right, matter of fact, let me grab two precepts right quick. I got 33:6. And I also want to grab Proverbs 1:5. Can you repeat that one more time, Bobby?
Verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, I will shout unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Right? Because we know that, hey, that's that wisdom knowledge understanding that we're going to need inside these times to endure. Right? This is the book of Isaiah 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. Right, and it's just correlating back to what he said of Ezekiel, right? We're going to read further more into it, right? He's going to talk about how he's going to put, sinews upon you. That's like pretty much strengthening a muscle, man. Putting that muscle back into that dry bone, which would be the wisdom and knowledge, make that full body. Isaiah 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh Shah is his treasure. Right, in the time of like I said, great tribulation, right? When they present you the mark of the beast, right? The small grain of rice, right? You can't buy some of trade unless you have that device, right? Only reason you will say no is because you built up to say no, right? The Lord's going to use the so-called white man, right, in his system to box you in, to where you have to actually be ready to die behind not taking this device. Matter of fact, But this right in the book of Proverbs 1 verse 5, it says a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel, right? Because if you only would know the time that we coming into, you want to have as much wisdom and knowledge as possible to keep you on point. You will want as much wisdom and knowledge as possible to keep you on point, man, to keep you comfortable, right? Because we come to that time period where the Lord can remove that comfort. Right? Hey, what's that guy doing? Matter of fact, can you reread those that one more time? Oh, you good. I see the lady was trying to look, so I was trying to say, like, you could have hold it up for her. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 5. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shah unto you.
When it's like that, Lord, it's really Yahweh. We always gonna say through Yahweh Shah, because that's only the son. Yahweh Shah.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh
Shah.
Thus saith the Yahweh Shah unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
Right, ye shall live, right? And that's what we are. Did you say Lord, Yahweh Shah, right? Because we mean Lord, but we always gonna say Yahweh Shah. Those are the true names that we believe that's salvation gonna be upon it, right? Acts 4 and 12, right? It says, matter of fact, I already read Isaiah 33 and 6, wisdom and knowledge, This Proverbs 1 verse 5 again, it says, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, right? When you're increasing your learning, that means you're going to be doing what? You're going to be repenting. You're not going to be, that sounds good, but I ain't changing. No, you're going to increase your learning. You're going to start changing your ways, hey, back to how it used to be, righteousness, right? You go back to yours, bro.
Verse 6.
You gotta read the book you went again. Read what book you went again.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 6. It says, and I will lay Sanu Shalaki upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live.
Right? That's like I say, that's that rebuilding process, man. Coming into the truth, right? The Lord finna push you through that trial. You know, He's finna start building you up. Right? That's why we tell brothers, you gotta, you have to sit down. You have to actually study. You know, Scripture say, hey, study to show thyself approved, man. You know, we all gotta fight. You know, hey, speaking for myself first and foremost. You know, we all gotta sit down and study. You know, fast, pray for more wisdom and knowledge, understanding. Pray for more strength. You know, pray for more discernment. Right?
And ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahushua.
Lord Yahushua.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 6. It says, and I will lay Sanu upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahushua.
Right? The Lord Yahushua. You know? What number you start at?
Start at 6 or 7 now.
So now it's goes out with that. That's bad. Find Ephesians 4 and 22 right here.
Chapter 4, verse 22, it says that ye put off concerning the former conversations, the old man,
right,
which is concerned according to the deceitful lust.
Read it back one more time. That's the word. Conversation. Concerning the former conversation, which is corrupt.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning Shalaki, the former conversation.
Right, hey, that's that nigga music, that nigga culture, right? Abominable eating, right? Praising these dead idols, right? Allah, Santa Maria, right? So-called Jesus Christ, all of that bullshit, man. Right? The niggas want to be niggas, the hoes want to act like hoes, right? That's the former conversation that the Lord is not dealing with, man. Right? You got it.
The old man, which is corrupt,
right? And that's dead, man. Right? And the Lord talks about how there shall no whore enter to the kingdom. Right? The same as these dudes, man. These dudes want to be a thug, right? Want to get all this money, right? The Lord not dealing with that, man. Right? And that's the former conversation. That mindset is dead. That mindset will not lead you to no type of salvation. You got it, all right?
According to the deceitful lust. Verse 23, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Right, it says be renewed. Right, that's another, the same word pretty much again as a return, man. Be renewed, man, matter of fact. Got it, man. He got a long ass trail. Right? It says, and be renewed inside the mind. Right? We read it back one more time.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 23. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Right? They come back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Right? A wise man will increase learning once he hear the words of the Lord. Right? He's going to put off the old man. It talks about how, you know, like today's time, a lot of men talk about adultery. A lot of women talking about adultery. Right? Eating abominable food. Once you hear the words of the Lord, right, you're gonna come back to what he's talking about. Right? You come back to that order. Right? The Lord said, hey, he deals with order, right? Huh? About Yahweh Shah, that's the Hebrew man of the Bible, right? That's the son of the Lord. Now, so the father name is Yahweh, the son name is Yahweh Shah. That was never Greek, right? In Revelation 1 and 14, he was melanated, right? He said he had copper, you know, he had feet like brass. Crucified, yeah. He was hung. What person was hung? What people getting hung today? People like us. Right, so-called Negroes like you and the natives. Right, that's those are the 12 tribes of Israel. God, you know. Yeah. Well, God, we don't be saying, you know, his name is not, you know, Jesus, right? Hey, Lord had to give us, you know, some type of information so us to wake up, right? In these latter days of waking us up, right? We're going to start digging deeper than what the face value of everything is, man. How can we say we Hebrews when we call on a Greek power? You know, that don't make sense, you know? That's why he say, a wise man will hear and will increase learning. You know, once you start hearing, then that shit makes sense. You know, that's like now, hey, the elders say, hey, research it. Go into the blue letter. Shit, especially, you know, my brothers, you know, they tell me, bro, get in the blue letter, bro. Grab this in the blue letter. Now I tell you the same thing, you know, all of us, you know, it's for edification's sake, right? Because the more you edify yourself, the more firm you is in this truth, man. The more you know how to actually break down the strongholds of what's going on, right? Read that back one more time.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 23, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Verse 24.
Right. Matter of fact, read it all in sequence. Start back at 22 and read it.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22.
Right.
That ye put off concerning
the old man.
Concerning, so like the former conversation of the old man, right, which is corrupt,
right,
according to the deceitful lust.
Right? Because hey, the Lord say in the book of Jeremiah 17 and 9, you know, the heart is desperately wicked, man. Right? He gonna go after the flesh, man. You know, we in a time period you need to be seeking after the spirit, right? Understanding that hey, we're gonna come to a time like never before, worse than Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Worse than slavery itself. You know, worrying about the flesh gonna have your ass killed inside them times. Right? You got it up.
Verse 23. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 23. It says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Right? Being renewed inside the spirit of your mind, right? I got a quick precept. This is the book of Psalms, matter of fact. Yeah. I got a quick precept. This Psalms 119, verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? It says, by taking heed thereto according to thy word. Right? Because when you repent, you pretty much baptizing yourself. Right? You know, you know, back then they did a water baptism, but that wasn't, you know, the one that we need, man. Because anybody can dip inside water like today in Christianity churches, right? Folks, they'll actually, you know, dip themselves in water and get up out the water and still go fuck the man's wife the next day or the same night. That's not showing that you baptized, man. It says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, right? Because we in sin, right? We ashes like filthy rags. But how can you cleanse it? By taking heed thereto according to the word, right? Go back to Psalm 1 and 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, right? You're washing yourself off. It's a sight of glory in how by Shem Yahweh Shah. Right?
Chapter 4, verse 24. Right? It said, and that ye put on the new man, which after Yahweh Yahushua is created in righteousness and true holiness.
Right, read that one more time.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 24. It says, and that ye put on the new man, which after Yahushua.
Right? Hey, the new man is seeking after the Lord, Yahushua, man. Right? We're not worrying about the cares of this world. You know, we're worrying about salvation. You know? Right? You know, Shalom. Right? Read that one more time.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 24. It says, and that ye put on the new man.
Right? That new man gonna get you delivered. Right? That new man gonna have you inside a chair with a crown, right? Sipping on that new wine that the Lord has for us. Lord willing, we're part of that remnant. You know? That new man gonna have that hedge of protection upon you. Matter of fact, I got another quick piece something to close out with. Yo. We're gonna finish out one precept next one. Yeah, you can read it, my bad.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 24. And that ye put on the new man, which after Yahushua is created in righteousness and life, and true holiness. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 24. It says, and that ye put on the new man, which after Yahushua is created in righteousness and true
holiness.
True holiness.
Right? So hey, coming back to Yahushua, right? We're gonna be putting on the whole armor, right? You know? I'm gonna close out with this last precept right here. It says, Sirach, or better known as Ecclesiastes 5 verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, Yahushua, and put not off from day to day, right? We out here warning you constantly and returning to Yahushua. You know, the day is going to be evil, right? Like how it states in the book of Ezekiel. You know, it says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord, Yahushua, come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance, right? Because hey, we out here week in and week out, hey, to prophesy, right? To warn you, right? Just how it was with Noah, to warn you about the bad times, man. Right? So it says, matter of fact, read it back one more time. It says, make no tarrying means what? Stop procrastinating, you know? Hey, it's simple as this. Hey, repent or die. You know, simple as that. Right? Get right with Yahushua, or get ready to taste the wrath of the Lord Yahushua, man. You know? So with that being said, we're gonna close out. Lord willing, was edifying. You know, we're gonna give our honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakadash. Right? Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, right? Who rule well. You know? Hey, Shalom in peace. Right to the like I said, double honor to the elders and the apostles. You know, shalom to the hopefully elect men that scattered abroad. You know, pushing the truth with all sincerity. Right, and shalom and peace to those few sisters that's getting older in these last days. Right, so with that being said, you know, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahushua. Hey, saying in the Hebrew tongue, bless the Lord Yahweh, which is in the Hebrew tongue, right? Our Lord. And Yahushua, right, is who the world called Jesus Christ today, right? His name is Yahushua. He's the so-called black man, right? Revelation 1:14, right? So we will end it out with another endurance prayer, right? Because we pray that we keep the spirit of the Lord on us to actually endure, you know, to the end, right? He said, "He that endures to the end shall be saved." All right, that means we have to go through a lot of persecution. We hope that we have the hands of the Lord upon us. Right, so Nathan Liyah, Kakadash, Law, Yikah, Law, Ha, Kodazah, Bakusha, Nathan Liyah, Kakadash, Law, Yikah, Law, Ha, Kodazah, Bakusha, one more time, Nathan Liyah, Kakadash, Law, Right? praying to the Lord, man, for that endurance prayer, right? You know, pray the Lord give us the Holy Spirit to keep, you know, the Holy Spirit, you know, that strength to endure. So, you know, it's like these hard times, man. So, like I said, Lord, when it was edifying, man. And the Bible ball and death to America.